Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of Channel Your Light, Own Your Intuitive with myself, Erin Chandler. For those of you who are new here, I am an intuitive guide, healer, psychic medium, author, and teacher. For those of you who are continuing on this journey, I love you. It is an honor and a privilege to sense and walk and expand and learn through each and every one of you. So I have some messages streaming in that I'm being shown a garden. This is for somebody who is looking at a garden, and it's almost like there's this big giant world out there, but the only garden that you see is the one in front of you. I'm being shown blinders, like hard focus blinders down at this garden that only has, let's say, poppies in it, a garden full of poppies. And the only thing that you ever see bloom year after year in this garden is poppies. And I'm being told that you have been broken open. You have been broken open, and you are beginning to see all of the other gardens that can exist. It's like I'm seeing the side blinders that kind of like when we watch horse races or racing horses, they have the blinders on the sides of their eyes so that they don't see what's outside of them on either side. It's like a very narrow focus in order to keep that focus. So it's almost like that's what's been on your eyes, where you can only see straight in front of you, but you're not really looking at all the things around you. The messages coming from your higher self is that you have been broken open. The blinders have been taken off, and this can be very scary. You can feel like, what is going on in the world? What am I seeing? What am I experiencing? This perhaps is a message for somebody regarding timelines as well, but I actually feel like that's connected to another message that's been coming through really significantly, which I will sit down and channel for that person about the timelines that you're experiencing and guidance specifically on the one that you've been questioning about. But I want to get back to this particular individual that this message is for. Masculine is what I'm hearing. So it's almost like you've been looking at this poppy garden in this one small place in the world, and you're looking down at it. It's not like you're looking out at it or up at it or beside it or sitting on the ground in front of it. You're always standing looking down at this garden. There is shame, guilt, blame, dissatisfaction, and discontentment that you have towards the garden that is in front of you. This is the garden that you have planted, but it is also the garden that you continually choose to stand up and look down into. That's a very clear message for somebody on here. And it feels like that's a shot to the heart kind of a message, or a pinging of a wake up almost. So I'm being told very clearly, I have you stepping forward. Whoever this message is for, your energy of your higher self is stepping forward and lifting up your chin in front of you. You have a loved one in spirit. It feels like a father figure or a grandfather or somebody who played the role of a father for you. They're lifting your chin and they are turning your face so that you are no longer looking down, but you are looking straight ahead of you. They're turning your face upwards now so that you can see the sky and the sunshine and the beauty of the birds that are flying around you. And now they're turning your face to the left so you can see the garden of someone else. And in their garden, they have lavender and they have silver bells and cockle shells is the little old poem that I am hearing. Maybe they have different ornaments in their lawn. Maybe it looks completely different. I am now seeing them turn your face to the right, where you see a desert garden filled with cacti and these strange succulents that you have never seen before. Some are almost like I'm being shown, some are standing upright and straight from the ground, but others are hanging down and swinging, but they're all succulent. It's very strange and different for you. It's almost like you're being shown the world, the different possibilities, the different timelines, because on this journey, when you pull your blinders off, it's almost like I'm seeing this person, you're a world traveler and you don't know it. You've been living the opposite life that your soul has been yearning to do. I am not giving the advice for you to take a sledgehammer or a wrecking ball to your life and drop everything in your responsibilities and go be a world traveler. I'm simply saying you can find a balance to fulfill what your soul is yearning for and also command the energy so that you do not abdicate responsibility. This is a very specific message for somebody on here. Again, I'm getting masculine. Masculine is what is coming in for this. It's almost like the need for you to wander. You need to wander a little bit. You can't just have all work and no play, and you also cannot have just all play and no work. Those that find the beautiful balance between the two often find that they become merged, and work is not work and play is not play. They become one and the same, and it allows you to continually be working and playing, exploring, reflecting, It's like always coming back to the center of you. It feels like going back to the garden now, they're showing me, it's almost like I'm seeing a nest that's now sitting in your poppy garden, and there's these eggs there, and the eggs are different colors. I'm seeing some of the eggs are getting black and shriveled. It's a metaphor for stagnancy or rotting. That which has died is now rotting, becoming that fuel and that nourishment to rejuvenate the new seeds and soil and roots underneath the surface that have not come into play yet. When you look around the world and you look with the eyes and wonder and the curiosity of the child within you, it's almost like remembering the child within you, almost that your experiences have forced you to forget this. I'm hearing you grew up too early, having to take responsibilities and look after things that no child should have to look after. It's a recultivating and a reigniting of the inner child within you, because that is an important aspect, is directly connected to your intuition. When we think about the holy trinity of the self or the different phases of the life, the inner child is the foundational piece of who you are. If the foundational piece of who we are is dismissed, denied, silenced, shamed, all of those things, it creates adults who are adults walking around with those childhood wounds within them. And then everything they do as an adult is colored by this. So this is really a message for somebody who's really tried hard to stay in the box, who has not looked outside of it, who is feeling trapped. That's the word I'm hearing, trapped almost like. And I'm being shown very clearly, giant bullseye. You have forgotten that you are more powerful, that you are only trapped if you allow yourself to do that. The trap is perhaps sometimes your perception of what you can and cannot do, what you are told who you can and cannot be. Sometimes that is a trap. It is self-entrapment when we continue that as an adult, because it is rooted in the foundation of the inner child that has not been healed, or who has not been able to play, who has not been able to wander, who has not been able to explore. So I'm almost feeling like we're mixing the garden, we're mixing the inner child, we're mixing the feelings of entrapment, but it's all for great purpose. The messaging of this, you will know that this message is for you, and take what resonates and leave what doesn't. There's a lot of people who watch this channel. There's a lot of people that I connect with your energy in order to co-create, and your spirits are the ones that come through to deliver these messages with the guidance that you need. It is not intended for you to always follow exactly what I say. It's not intended for you to give your power away. Never give your power away to somebody else to make a decision for you. Never give your power away to an object that has control over you or controls the choices you make. Never give your power away to a medium. Side note, do not give your power away to me. If you do that, I will simply hand it back to you. This is recognizing that you are very, very powerful. You can set a boundary. You can make your own choices. Entrapment is often a trap that we have set for ourselves based on something that we were taught. Do not give your power away. Your intuitive knowing is the most powerful. Do not give your power away to anyone or anything. You have been God-given the ability to make decisions. Do not consciously or unconsciously. And for many of you, this is unintentional. I know for me on my journey, it was very unintentional. I didn't realize that I was giving my power away all the time and allowing others to make decisions before me, decide who I am, have a perspective as if it was actually me. But I was taught this. I was taught as a small child and groomed to ensure that I adhered to the labels and things that were serving to other people. It has been a clawback for me of taking back that power. And now that I have taken that back, I will let nothing and no one bring me back to that position. Even if I'm continually faced for it, I will always come back to this understanding that my own greatest power is within me. The reason I am sharing this is because I feel like this has been somebody else's journey on here, always being told to be less than, always having to silence, always having to be something that you are not, or allowing others to choose for you because they know better or they understand. Here's the thing, they know better for themselves. I feel like that's a whole other message coming through on this, but it's a very clear message. It's almost like a parent-child dynamic where the parent says you must do this and you can't do this and you shouldn't dream that and oh, don't do that again and here's all the reasons why you can't, when the root reason stating those things has absolutely nothing to do with what you can and can't do, what you're capable of, where you should go, or what's for your highest good. It's actually a direct reflection of themselves and the limitations they have placed on themselves, or the deep wounds of their own inner child that they have in their life that they perhaps haven't dealt with or looked at deeply. So that's a very clear message for somebody on here. I feel like this is a couple of different people I'm now bringing the information through for. And again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You will know if this is your dynamic in a childhood. You will know if this has been carried forward into your adult life. There are many, many fields and gardens. I'm being reminded of Dutch. I don't know why, but a Dutch lineage is coming up. I'm seeing the fields of tulips in Holland. That's why they're referencing Dutch. All of these fields of these beautiful flowers and tulips in Holland. It's like, if that's your only experience, let's now move into the beautiful fields in France where they have gorgeous lavender fields and they are known for the exquisite beauty. It is a different essence. It is a different smell. The plants look different. They thrive in a different setting, in different seasons. Some need more sun, some need more shade. I feel like this is a direct reference for you, indicating that for you to understand that you were planted in a shade garden, but you're a flower that needs a lot of sun. And that's kind of difficult for you. It's like moving away from the shade garden. It's almost like you're a delphinium that's beautiful and old and planted in this poppy garden when you're looking down at it, into this poppy garden, knowing that it's not you, but feeling trapped and unable to see to the different places in the world that you can travel, the different things that you can be, the different timelines you can go to, the different outcomes you can actually experience. Whoever this message is for, this is like, I'm hearing school of hard knocks, the hard school of life. And it almost feels like, for those of you who have experienced that, it's direct experiential learning. It didn't come from a book. You didn't learn it from a teacher, but never actually walked the path. It's like you got thrown into a path and you had to walk it through direct experience with no map, with no tools, with no guidebook that was actually placed for your highest good, but it almost was like other people's guidebooks. You cannot allow other people's guidebooks to guide your journey. You have the journey within you. The map is within you. As a guide, I am simply here to disperse the different, I'm seeing sections or pages, and I'm seeing the sailing true north. When you see the compass, I'm seeing as a guide, the purpose of a guide is truly to rewrite or to show you your divine true north, or to, I'm hearing, highlight or illuminate the knowing or the perspective or the thing that is kind of standing in your way or is tripping you up. It's important to understand this because moving in your true north, all paths lead home. You're always on your right path home. Even if you feel like you're going in circles and patterns, sometimes we hit the same lesson multiple times over and over and over again because we haven't quite integrated it, or we've surpassed the lesson, but we haven't quite embodied the different or the new aspect of it that no longer requires the lesson. And the third subset of souls on this is you're just observing the lesson in its entirety and clearly to say, oh yeah, I know that. And I'm definitely done. And thank you for showing me exactly how that all plays out. Thank you for really being embodied. So everybody's at a different stage. You're always at the right place, whether you're being illuminated, whether you're being broken open, whether you're just getting confirmation and validation. I'm seeing the round and round card. This message is to identify and illuminate as a guide for whoever these messages resonate for, that you are now at a higher vantage point. It may appear that you are going round and round. I'm seeing somebody, you're having a massive tower in your life. This massive tower, this round and round, you have a higher vantage point that you can view from. I am seeing that eagle who often flies with me, showing that higher vantage point. Rise above and observe. Detach from the labels, from the emotive responses, and observe from the higher perspective, and you will see how far you have come. You will see what you did not see before, or perhaps I'm being shown it's the complete removal of the blinders. Allow yourself to see that which you have not seen before. There are many, many fields. I'm now being zoomed out, almost like a drone view where you have the drones that go over the different beautiful valleys and fields and oceans and mountains and jungles and deserts and forests. It's like taking a drone's view, a bird's eye view perspective, that there are millions of different pathways you can take. You are not trapped looking down. You'll notice the bird is looking down from the highest perspective, the bird's eye view, not from the child's view, the inner child wounding view. It's moving it up. For a female, you could look at it as the child, the mother, and the old crone. It's the holy trinity of the self. For the masculine, it is the same. The child, the father, and the wise elder. It's always the same. It's the holy trinity of the self, coming into coherence and in alignment and reconciling the things that we did not see before and expanding actually brings you into alignment. This means your inner child has a voice at the table. This means your mother or father figure or adult figure midlife. This may be for somebody who's going through a midlife crisis that's coming in as a validation for somebody feeling like you're in a midlife breakdown. I'm being told to tell you this is a breakdown for a massive breakthrough. You are never on the wrong path. You are simply peeling back the layers of the onions. Towers are not always bad things. You are being broken open. Allow yourself to shed that which does not serve you. Do not fight to keep the blinders back on is what I am hearing. Allow yourself to expand. I'm hearing allow yourself to be naked. Allow your vessel to be emptied. Allow yourself to see the scars upon your skin. See the beauty of you in the mirror. Allow yourself to reflect on them. Look at the wounds that are gaping and open and literally I'm seeing somebody with a gaping open wound where it's almost like the pus from inside that hadn't been dealt with is finally able to be extracted from you so that it can heal. We heal from the inside out. But if we continue to put a Bandaid onto that wound, or if we continue to not look at it and pretend it's not there, or put clothing over it and say, I don't want to look at that, it's going to ooze to the point where we have a tower moment and the universe and the divine and our soul rips it open, leaves you naked, bears you vulnerable, not as a punishment. Yes, it will be uncomfortable, but the purpose of that is to extract all of that toxicity, all that you have not expressed within you, to be extracted, to pour out of you so that you can heal from the inside out. Scars are beautiful. I'm hearing the song Scars to Your Beautiful is the title of it. I'm hearing they are beautiful. Look upon your skin. For those of you who are on a massive journey of expansion and all in and have done a ton of personal work, I want you to view your beautiful naked essence. They're giving me a lot of images of being naked and being in the mirror. And it's not intended in a sexual way. It's intended in a spiritual way, stripping down the clothing or the old. I'm seeing somebody with tattered clothing. You have old tattered clothing on you that has been ripped and clawed at. It is stained. It does not fit you. It is too small. Take off the clothing. Allow yourself to be naked. I'm hearing blank space, a blank page. Allow yourself to be a blank page so that you can be written upon. If you wish to start a new chapter, it is not a new chapter. You are starting a whole new book. Take off the stories, the narrative, the clothing, the identity, all of those things that go hand in hand of that last book. It's time for the new book. The pages are empty, so too must you be naked and emptied of your vessel. Look upon the scars of all that you have walked through, all that you have been, and I'm still standing stronger than I've ever been. And see that you are still standing. See all the scars that are silver and beautiful. See them deeply healed. Turn to wisdom. I see the bone collector. I'm hearing a channel from my daughter. The winds are coming, and I shall blow away the earthly debris from man's bones. That's what you are doing. Allow the wind to flow through you. Allow it to then clear your vessel and leave you naked in the beauty and the essence and the power that you are. And then let it take flight. Allow yourself to look and take that bird's eye perspective of the world, the different paths, the different journeys, the different countries, the different experiences, the different cultures as a metaphor. Look at all the beauty that you have yet to look upon. Look at all the bliss that you have yet to feel. Turn your eyes to that. Look up, child. Look up, child. For that is in your next book. These are some very deep and strong metaphors. We're all on an expansive journey. Many of you have noticed that, I hope that you have noticed, perhaps some of you haven't. Some of you will have felt it in a negative response or a positive response, either a contracting feeling or an expansive feeling. Some of you may have felt it as total freedom, and some of you may felt it as complete entrapment. Everybody will have felt the energies differently. There has been another shift. We are shifting all the time, so that is inevitable. But some of the shifts are more extreme, felt more deeply, with a very deep knowing. This last week and a half, I want to say, or the last 4 to 5 days, many of you may have noticed an extreme shift. You may have noticed it in the different facets on the spectrum, whether it's positive, negative, up, down, left, right, diagonals, north, south, east, and west. But there has been a significant and magnificent shift. It is calling you to align your energy. It is up to you to move smoothly with it and go with the flow and surrender. But so too, sometimes we do fight when we are faced with such magnetic and enormous shifts. So have compassion for yourself. If you need to, go back and listen to this message. I too have felt the deep shifting resonance, the deep purging of the old, the deep shedding. I have also felt the nakedness and the newness and the power. I have also felt the wings expanding to a level that perhaps I have not really truly acknowledged before this. This is what many people in the collective are experiencing. And again, everyone is at a different place and experiencing it slightly differently. Allow yourself to experience it in the way you are experiencing it. Surrender to your way, not everyone else's way, because it is beautiful and it is profound, and you are meant to drink the nectar from all the different flowers, the delphiniums, the roses, the desert blooms, the jungle hybrids I am hearing, the beautiful hibiscus, the lotus flowers, and even I'm seeing desert dahlias is what it looks like straw flowers and sunflowers and daisies and peonies and roses, because every rose has its thorn Every rose stem has a thorn. All of us have thorns upon our stems before the bloom beautifully unfurls. There are so many messages, directly metaphors related to the nature aspect and gardens and flowers right now, particularly as we come to the end of the season in my part of the world, the ending of the summer, coming into the fall, the beauty and the change of the season and the energy and the purpose. It's such a beautiful time to be alive, my friends. I'm seeing somebody with a crown of flowers upon your head. Up to this point, it has been a crown of thorns. Allow the thorns to be healed. Allow the bones of wisdom, the wisdom that they have cultivated within you. See the thorns being sheared and healed as scars upon your stems. For now it is time for your crown of thorns to bloom in the bounty and the beauty of the divine essence of who you are. And upon your crown, notice if it is an abundance of daisies, of delicate flowers. I am seeing baby's breath for some of you. Notice if it is a crown of roses. There are some of you, the wanderers, the star seeds, the beautiful, brilliant, creative, free spirits. Yours is a crown of wild flowers. It is a crown of exotic flowers mixed with old world flowers, mixed with all the beautiful Mediterranean flowers. Greek is coming in, a reference to the Greek mythology, Greek origins. Allow yourself to explore and expand. You are a powerful being. You came here to adventure and explore, not to look down at the simple garden with the poppies, because you have been asking yourself, is this all there is? My dear, beautiful friend, that is far from all there is. That is but 1% of the 100% there is to experience. That is not all there is. Take your blinders off and meander and wander through the gardens. Reflect upon your heart. Allow yourself to be free, even if it's just for a moment. It may take one step at a time to lean into that. I will leave that with you, beautiful souls. Wow, I just feel like the most beautiful messages have come through in this channeling that just touch me so deeply. And I feel your spirits and your higher selves really showing me and alighting and aligning with great gratitude, the expansiveness that each and every one of you hold within you, that in the 3D world, we don't necessarily recognize. I'm being told very clearly, many of you are about to become consciously aware that which has been filtering and poking through your subconscious for a little bit now. It's about to become illuminated into your conscious field. This is both a chaotic and freeing experience. When the dark comes to the light, the subconscious into the conscious. As always, my friends, if you wish to connect with me directly for a personal private reading, you can find a link to do that in the video description box below. And of course, I am sending you much love, light, peace, healing, transcendence, and expansion. Until next time, beautiful souls.